It's been an interesting week. And all I could do is laugh because I remember my mother, Althea Mills, boy, since she's passed after Hurricane Dorian, all the things that she used to say is just playing in my mind. And she said, the higher you climb, the more you expose your bungie. And by Darren Henfield own admission this week, them tight pants has been exposed. You can see Ollie Bungie, because he's down in North Abaco trying to be significant, as if he care. It took a storm to expose Darren and Silbert, because Darren don't have that power anymore, and North Abaco will never, and we shall never ever go backwards to give him that power nor the attention that he's now seeking. He had that power, but it's gone forevermore. You are now here, piggybacking, following now the PLP to see what they're gonna do after Tropical Storm, a Category 1. But the question that you should be asking yourself, Darren Henfield, what did you do after Category 5? Were you going around house to house when you had that political power? Nope. All y'all were doing was robbing and stealing and hiding from us. I remember every time Darren Henfield and Menace came at that airport, you know, jump in the back seat with them. Silbert, Darren and Menace, they didn't have no police with them. Darren Henfield would not let nobody ride Menace. Silbert would leave his car, and he felt that he was in heaven because he didn't know what I know, that he was riding with the two worst members of parliament in the history of the world, Darren Henfield and Dr. Hubert Menace. And Silbert Mills was in the back seat, piggybacking in the back seat. But I'm glad that y'all has been exposed. We already know that Darren was no good. He had the power, and local Kai Mills had power in his constituency headquarters in Dundastan. And for 3 weeks, Darren Henfield was so weightless, he couldn't get power to his constituency office. So we already know he was a failure while he had the power. But my cousin Silbert Mills thought that he had so much power that he could ride shotgun with Darren Henfield and Menace throughout the time when we were abbreviated, demolished by Hurricane Dorian. But the question to North Abaco, while Darren is walking down, where's the grill? They're still hungry. Where's the pork chop? The chicken? The ribs? The calicks? Where's all that free stuff? I told you all back then, you will see more of the backs of Darren Henfield than the front. And again, he had to fly in after the tropical storm, Category 1 hurricane. Kai Mills was among you, and I'm still among you. He supposedly already flew back out, like everybody that came in to seek what to do. I am here. I know what to do. But we have seen more of the backs of them than the front. Time will tell what's going to happen after this little passage of Tropical Storm Nicole. One thing that's been exposed, I'm glad that Minister Sayers was here, is the roads to Pelican Shores. We are still paying taxes. We have not stopped paying taxes since Hurricane Dorian, but the government has ceased to do their job. I'm glad that John Pinder had the opportunity to use Hurricane Nicole tropical storm to bring the ministers in to ride on our streets to see that we haven't even fixed a side street since Hurricane Doreen, since the F&M has dug up the ground. But I'm glad that Kirk and John has had an opportunity to see the ministers, to have the ministers on the ground. The question is, when and how long are they going to do something about it? It's already been 3 years of our cars being breakdown, holes everywhere. On the way to Sandy Point, you could lose a tire, you could lose a life on the road there. The holes are so big. In Dunderstan, Murphytown, side street, front street, holes. Hopefully, Nicole has brought these members of parliament in to expose what needs to be done in Abaco. While Darren Henfield, those coming for photo op, and they're back on the plane, we are still here in Abaco suffering unnecessarily because of bad government. Something need to fix. We hope that happens sooner than later. Thank God for Hurricane, Tropical Storm Nicole to expose all the cronyism that is happening and as has happened, and people now trying to distance themselves from the Hubert Minnis administration, but they were there trying to get rich during our suffering, and only they cared about themselves. Didn't care about the F&M, nor the people of Abaco. They were concerned about their contracts. And now they are being exposed rightfully. I don't have nothing to hide. My integrity is still intact because Kai still care. I am not back on the plane like Darren and the rest of the minister. I am here through all of this, suffering just like you're suffering, because Kai cares.